Hi, I'm Effie and this is going to be a 5-star prediction video. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these videos, so clearly it was past due for me to do this. So I've picked out 8 books from my shelves that I think are going to end up being 5 stars. I'm hoping that I will read all of these in 2025, but I am really intensely a mood reader, so whether I do or not remains to be seen. The first one we've got is Mad Sisters of Essie by Tashan Mehta. I picked this up partially because I love that it's got a giant pink whale on the front, and partially because the editor, Nava Wolf, was talking about how this had recently been acquired by Door. So this is published by HarperCollins India, and I don't think the rights had been previously bought for any other country. So Door got on this, and I remember her saying it was weird and beautiful and one of the best books she's read in a while. I'll read the blurbs for all of these since there's only 8. So, Myung and Lala are keepers of the Whale of Babel. They roam within its cosmic chambers, speak folk tales of themselves, and pray to an enigmatic figure they know only as Great Wisa. To Lala, this is everything. For Myung, this is not enough. When Myung flees the whale, she stumbles into a new universe where shape-shifting islands and ancient maps hold sway. There, she sets off on an adventure that is both tragic and transformative for her and Lala. For at the heart of her quest lies a mystery that has confounded scholars for generations. The truth about the Mad Sisters of Essie. Fables, dreams and myths come together in this masterful work of fantasy by acclaimed author Tashan Mehta, sweeping across 3 landscapes and featuring a museum of collective memory and a festival of madness. At its core, it asks, in the devastating chaos of the world, where all is in flux and the truth ever-changing, what will you choose to hold on to? So even just reading that blurb, this feels like the kind of book that you hug close to your chest. Not Now But Forever by Chuck Palahnuik. So I just think the blurb sounds incredible. I had read Palahnuik's backlist up to not Adjustment Day. Beautiful You, I think, was the most recent one. So I'd read everything up to Beautiful You, and I really enjoyed his writing. And then obviously I'm going to read the blurb for you and see if you think it sounds amazing too. From the best-selling author of Fight Club comes a hilarious horror satire about a family of professional killers responsible for the most atrocious events in history, and the young brothers who are destined to inherit it. Meet Otto and Cecil, 2 brothers growing up privileged in the Welsh countryside. They enjoy watching nature shows, playing with their pet pony, and impersonating their grandfather, and killing the help. Murder is the family business after all. Downton Abbey this is not. However, it's not so easy to continue the family legacy with the constant stream of threats and distractions seemingly leaping from the hedgerow. First there's the matter of the veritable cavalcade of escaped convicts who keep showing up at their door, not to mention the debaucherous new tutor who has a penchant for speaking Greek and dismembering sex dolls. Then there's Mummy's burgeoning opioid addiction, and who knows where Daddy is. He just vanished one day after he and Mummy took a walk in the so-called ghost forest. With Grandfather putting the pressure on Otto to step up, it becomes clear that this will all end in one of 2 ways. A nuclear apocalypse or Just Another Day Among the Creeping Thistle and Tree Peonies. And in a novel written by Chuck Palahnuik, either is equally possible. The next book I've got is Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert, and the reason I am putting this on my 5-star predictions is because I bought it based on V. Schwab saying that they really enjoyed it, and the last time I did that was with Build Your House Around My Body, which I completely adored. So I'm very excited to pick this up and see if the streak of books that Schwab has enjoyed continues. Lies, Witchcraft, Super Bad Choices. Ivy's summer kicks off with a series of disturbing events. As unnatural offerings appear on her doorstep, she's haunted by fragmented memories from her childhood, suggesting there's more to her mother Dana than meets the eye. Dana's tale starts the year she turns 16, when she embarks on a major fling with the supernatural. Too late, she realizes that the powers she's playing with are also playing with her. Years after it began, Ivy and Dana's shared story will come down to a reckoning between a mother, a daughter, and the dark forces they never should have messed with. Feast of Sparks by Sierra Simone. I'm not going to read the blurb for this one as it is a sequel, but this is the second book in the Thornchapel series, and A Lesson in Thorns, which is the first book in this series, just absolutely blew me away. It's a little bit like a fever dream, it's a little bit like a fairy tale, and it's also quite spicy, and I have such high hopes for this book, and I think I am going to adore it. I don't think I've come across a Sierra Simone that I haven't had a good time with. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. The reason this goes on my 5-star predictions list is that I know my best friend loved this, and I would say that our reading tastes are pretty well aligned, especially when it comes to fantasy, which is what this is. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilya. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Payden Grey, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilya's princes, Kai Azza, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers that Payden is completely ordinary. An Accident of Stars by Meadows. This is a portal fantasy, and it's also queer, so that alone appeals to me. Go on a magic reality spanning adventure with Hugo Award winning author Meadows. When Saffron Coulter stumbles through a hole in reality, she finds herself trapped in Kenna, a magical realm on the brink of civil war. There her fate becomes intertwined with that of 3 very different women. Zek, the fast-thinking acolyte of a cunning, powerful exile, Via, the spoiled runaway consort of the empire-building ruler Vex Liaden, and Gwen, an earth-born world-walker whose greatest regret is putting Liaden on the throne. Pursued by Liaden and aided by the Shavutin, a secretive order of storytellers and mystics, the rebels flee to Vext, a neighbouring matriarchy ruled by the fearsome Council of Queens. Saffron is out of her world and out of her depth, but the further she travels, the more she finds herself bound to her friends with ties of blood and magic. So we've got found family and this very intriguing secondary world. Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chao. I feel like I've read this blurb so many times, but essentially the reason this makes my list is because it combines two of my three favourite fantasy creatures, a fox spirit and a vampire. Half vampire, half fox spirit, all trouble. Pawned by her mother to the King of Hell as a child, Lady Jing is half vampire, half raging fox spirit, and all sasshole. As the King's ward, she has spent the past 90 years running errands, dodging the taunts of spiteful, raging courtiers, and trying to control her explosive temper with varying levels of success. So when Jing overhears the courtiers plotting to steal a priceless dragon pearl from the king, she seizes her chance to expose them once and for all. With the help of a gentle mortal tasked with setting up the central bank of hell, Jing embarks on a wild chase for intel, first through hell, then mortal Shanghai. But when her hijinks put the mortal in danger, she must decide which is more important: avenging her loss of face or letting go of her half-empty approach to life for a chance to experience tenderness and maybe even love. And the final book of my 5-star predictions is The Gilded Crown, and this, I believe, is queer and has necromancy. The first time Helvia visited death, she was 10 years old. Since she was a little girl, Helvia has been able to raise the dead. Every creature can be saved for a price demanded by the shrouded figure who rules the afterlife, who takes a little more from Helvia with each soul she resurrects. Such a gift can rarely remain a secret. When Princess Sullivan, sole heir to the kingdom's throne, is assassinated, the Queen summons Helvia to demand she bring her granddaughter back to life. But once is not enough. The killers might strike again. The princess's death would cause a civil war, so the Queen commands that Helvia remain by her side. But Sullivan is no easy woman to be bound to, even as Helvia begins to fall in love with her. With the threat of war looming, Helvia must trade more and more of herself to keep the princess alive, and death will always take what he is owed. So those are the 8 books that I predict, when I finally read them, will be 5-star reads for me. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these and if you love them. But until next time, love you. Bye.